Good morning, everyone. Good to see a couple of you saying good morning in the chat roll. Welcome to this eXp Model Explained webinar, and it is my privilege and my excited opportunity this morning to tell you about this fantastic company, eXp. And I am excited to tell you about this phenomenal opportunity as it has come into the world of South Africa in the last couple of months. My hope and my goal for this morning is to make sure that by the end of today's time together, we're going to be together for about an hour and 15 minutes. So lock that up. That by the end of today, you will feel as if you have been properly, intelligently, rationally educated about this company, eXp. Because I believe, and this was my own personal experience, and it's been the experience of a really great group of leaders who have joined me already in this journey, that once you've seen what I'm going to show you today, that the model, the compensation plan, the opportunity as it exists is so compelling that the information itself, the truth itself, will convince you one way or another whether this is an opportunity for you or not. So that really is my primary goal today. It is just to provide you with information. I want to explain to you what this company eXp are doing so that you can make an intelligent, informed decision about whether this will be good for you, good for your family, good for your future, good for your financial future and career. And really that's how I want to begin today, is by saying today is not so much about convincing you to do anything. It is about giving you the information so that you can make the right decision for you. And that genuinely is my heart. For those of you who know me personally, you will know that that is more important to me, integrity and helping people make the right decisions for their own lives. And I am, however, convinced that for a good percentage of people who look at this business intelligently, if they stop and just take a look at it, just get the information that they need, that a good percentage of those agents will, in fact, be convinced by the truth of the matter. And this, of course, was my experience when I was first introduced to this business. I'll tell you that story in a second, but if you don't know me, my name is Steve Johnstone. I am a real estate sales trainer. I have been for the last 20 years. And my speciality has always been lead generation, and specifically how to work by referral. I have a training course that I've done for 20 years. It's called The Successful Real Estate Agent. It is the top lead generation sales training system on the planet. I do believe that because I know what my competitors around the world do. And then most recently, over the last 8 months, I've been running a mentorship program with about 800 agents called Going Virtual in Real Estate. And what that program has done is it's combined my long-standing system of how to build relationships and work by referral. It's combined that with the new world of technology that we're in. So I'm mentoring these agents every 2 weeks. We've been going, as I say, for 8 months, how to go virtual, how to use video better, how to create the thing that we call parasocial bonding using video, and then how to use video within all of the context of social media and bulk email and drip campaigns and the like. And it's been an incredible program. So just in case I actually forget, everybody who joins my group within eXp, if you do decide to take this journey together with us, whether I personally invited you to have a look at the business or someone else did, doesn't matter. If you join my group, you get access to all of my training, which is worth 15,500 Rand if you purchase it on my school. You get it all for free. You get enrolled on my mentorship program, and then you get access to the Successful Real Estate Agent course, because obviously I want everyone within my eXp business to do as well as they can. Okay, so that's a little bit of my background. I live in Cape Town, but that's irrelevant. This is a cloud-based business, as you're going to see. My introduction to the business took place about a year ago. I got a call from an ex-client of mine who is now in Canada, asking me to take a look at this new real estate company that would be launching in South Africa later in the year. At the time, I'd never heard of eXp, but as it turns out, I found out that they are a US-based real estate company. They were about 10 years old at the time, and they are currently expanding rapidly around the globe. And South Africa was one of the first international countries that they opened in, actually, and that happened late last year. But when I was approached about a year ago, I do get approached a little bit by companies wanting me to promote their stuff into the real estate industry, because I am well known because of my activity through the years, and I've got a big database and all of that. So I don't normally get involved with that sort of thing. But in this case, something I was told about this business did intrigue me. Something about its technology and how that enables it to compensate its agents completely differently. And so I started doing a little bit of quiet homework on eXp in the background. And the more I found out about this business, the more I fell in love with the company. I have been amazed by what this company have achieved. As I've learned, they are the fastest growing real estate company in the history of the industry. Nothing has ever even come close to what these guys have achieved. They have smashed every record on growth set by originally Remax and then Keller Williams, this global phenomenon. eXp have come on the scene and they've smashed all of those records. Particularly over the last 6 years or so, they have experienced unprecedented growth. About 6 years ago, they had 500 agents. The number now, the latest number, last week I said 42,000. The latest number now is 45,000. So they're growing at 1,000 agents a week or more at the moment, and they are expanding around the globe. It's like eXp have hit this tipping point, and they are just expanding so rapidly. They have opened a whole bunch of new countries in the last few weeks, which I will show you as we get into today's presentation. And South Africa opened in December last year, sort of November, December time last year. Now, the reason they are growing so fast is that they own a piece of technology that enables them to be far more profitable than any other real estate business, which then in turn allows them to compensate their agents far more lucratively than any of the other real estate models in the world. And as I will explain to you today, their model is completely different. It is a complete market disruptor. So what they have done is they've come into the real estate industry over the last 10 years, and they are not just a new real estate business doing similar things to other people, but just slightly better with technology. That's not the case. They are like the Uber of the taxi industry, or Airbnb of the real estate industry, where these companies, Uber and Airbnb, they don't own one vehicle. They don't own one hotel, and yet they're the biggest in the world. This is kind of what eXp have done. They are completely market disruptive. They were founded in 2009 by a tech genius named Glenn Sanford. Glenn Sanford had built a $60 million real estate business himself. I think he was with Keller Williams at the time. But by exclusively connecting with his clients and doing all his business online. He was a tech guy. Now, just remember, this was 2009. So in technology timeline, this is an age ago. This is 1 year after the first iPhone was launched. Back in those days, there's no such thing as Zoom or Google Meet or webinars or anything like that. But Glenn Sanford believed that the traditional brick and mortar model of real estate, where real estate companies had to own big franchise offices, franchisor offices, and then regional franchisee offices, and then every franchise owner had to have like a building on the side of a road with great signage and great visibility in the area. And, Glenn Sanford looked at that whole brick and mortar heavy model, and he just said, it's unnecessary. He believed in 2009, so this is quite ahead of his time, that a multi-office, even national real estate company, and as it turns out, international real estate company, could have all of its offices and its administrative staff in the cloud. And he believed that the massive cost saving that would represent to a real estate company should be passed back to the agents themselves. He believed that a real estate company should be owned by the agents. Why? Well, he said they should be the shareholders in the company because they are the people building the company. They should be compensated, not just for the transactions that they do, but they should also be compensated for building the company, based on their level of contribution. So he had this vision of a cloud-based, agent-centric, agent-owned business. Fast forward the clock now 11 years, eXp has got over 600 full-time employees who all work. Okay, now just hold your breath. This is going to blow your mind a little bit. This is a little bit out the box, and it's going to sound like a computer game, like an Xbox game the first time you hear it, but it's not. It's fully functional, and it is unbelievable. They've got over 600 full-time employees who work, all of them, in an avatar world. An avatar is like a little man or little woman that you create. You decide what color your hair is and what clothes you wear and all of that. And then you go into this avatar world with your little person that you've created for yourself, and your name is above your head so people know who they are talking to when they talk to you. And this avatar world has got offices, it's got training facilities, it's got boardrooms, it's got auditoriums, it's got informal meeting areas. You can even go to the beach in this avatar world. You can sit on the beach with other people and chat to them while you're there. You can play a game of soccer with other eXp agents on the soccer field in eXp avatar world. It is incredible. And, this is what the great market disruptor is. If you think about it logically, this is not just some clever little thing. It's not some little gimmick. Think about it this way. This company has got 45,000 agents, 600 full-time staff. They operate in 13 countries and counting, or I think it's even 15 now. They just opened Brazil a couple of days ago. And they are one of the fastest growing stocks on the NASDAQ stock exchange. So they listed on the NASDAQ a couple of years ago. Their market cap on the NASDAQ stock exchange is $9 billion US. Now think about all of that. Think about this. They don't own one office. Do you know how profitable that makes them as a company when compared to the traditional brick and mortar model of every other real estate company on the planet? And why is that important for you? Let me tell you, that is important for you because their profitability as a company makes it possible for them to compensate you as an agent far better. Okay, so there are 3 points that I want to make before we get into our presentation for today. So I've told you a little bit about eXp. I'm going to play you a video in a second by a guy called Brent Gove. It's about 25 minutes. Brent is going to explain the eXp model to us. And then what I'll do is after Brent has spoken, I will get up again and I will gather some of the strands of his thought together for you in a logical way. I will correct a couple of the numbers that he quotes because since Brent recorded this for us, the revenue share numbers were adjusted. So there's a couple of corrections I'll need to make, but nothing serious. But before we get into Brent's video, 3 points I want to make. Please be kind to yourself for the next 60 minutes. Just switch your phone off. Don't get into conversations with people around you. Don't get onto Facebook. Don't check your email. What you're going to see over the next 60 minutes, I'm not being dramatic, can change the rest of your life. So just allow yourself the time to give it your full attention. Secondly, do some research afterwards. If this is as good as we say it is, intelligent, well-done research will bear that out. So don't be afraid of doing some more research. I will send you an email after today. It gets triggered automatically by the system. It goes to whatever email address you entered when you logged into the webinar today. You'll get an email from me with 5 or 6 little links in it. and go and click through those. Go and have a look at the information. Do some homework afterwards. One of the links I'm going to send you is a video by, so it's a YouTube video by a guy called Gene Frederick. Now, that's the point on the slide. This was one of the little videos that made a huge impact on me when I was doing my research quietly behind the scenes. I came across this one and I watched it. So who's Gene Frederick? He's an accountant by training. He was, in fact, the financial director of a huge U.S. corporation called Texas Instruments. He left the corporate world and he went into real estate. He joined a small little company called Keller Williams when they first launched. And he owned the Northern California region for Keller Williams. And then on top of that, he purchased 5 franchises for himself. He owned Keller Williams Hawaii, Keller Williams Cupertino, which is where Apple's head offices are, and 3 other of the largest Keller Williams franchises. And together with a guy called Rob Flick, Gene Frederick and Rob Flick basically built Keller Williams in the western half of the United States. So he became a very, very well-known, wealthy, successful man in real estate in America. And when Glenn Sanford launched eXp, one of the first people he went to was Gene Frederick, because Gene Frederick's so well-known in the real estate industry in America. And he showed Gene his concept, his model of how he was going to build this business and how he was going to compensate agents. And I've always found this story quite funny. Gene Frederick says to Glenn Sanford, this like really techie guy, after he's seen the model, he said, Glenn, there's 2 things I want to say to you. He said, firstly, you need to find someone else to present this. I've always found that so funny, because you can just imagine this really nerdy. If you see videos of Glenn Sanford now, I mean, he's become this global phenomenon. You know, he's going to be on the Grant Cardone 10X event in a couple of weeks' time as one of their guest speakers, you know. But he's like this really nerdy guy, and you can just imagine Gene Frederick as this like major leader in the real estate industry saying, man, listen, you need to find someone else to present this. And then he said, the second thing I want to say to you is, you've just shown me the Netflix of real estate. You know, Netflix have put the DVD industry out of business. Why? Because it's just complete, and they don't own one disc, you know? It's just paradigm shifting. And so Gene Frederick went and sold all 5 of his Keller Williams franchises, and he moved across to eXp, and the rest is history. He's got one of the biggest eXp businesses in the world. And that presentation, it's a talk he gave in a hotel ballroom somewhere. And he's explaining to the audience why he made the move. Why is eXp the future of real estate? It is a brilliant presentation. I would encourage you, go and watch it. So do your homework afterwards. Let me warn you, if you do go and just Google eXp or go into YouTube and just, you know, what about eXp? You are going to come across the conspiracy theorists, you know, but there are conspiracy theorists about everything, about the COVID vaccine, about whatever, you know. So you just got to keep your wits about you, but go and do your homework. And then thirdly, base your decision on the first 3 of the 4 pillars of benefit. That will make more sense to you when we wrap up at the end of today. But my strong encouragement to you is to assess this as an agent. And that's the heart of really what I'm saying there is, look at the first 3 pillars of benefit as Brent Gove will explain them to us. And ask yourself, based on what I currently have, the deal I'm getting in real estate, whether I own my own business and what are my monthly costs involved with running my business and the risks and all of that, or if I'm on a split, whether I'm on a 90-10 split or a 70-30 split or whatever with the current agency, look at the deal you currently have and compare it to these 3 pillars that you will get when you join eXp as an agent. And if this is a compelling offering for you to join, then the 4th pillar becomes a no-brainer. And that 4th pillar is about inviting other agents to look at the eXp model and getting compensated for helping build the business as one of the owners of the business. Okay, so, and the reason I say assess it on the first 3 pillars is because to me that's the best way of integrity to do it. If you genuinely believe that this is a great business for agents to work for, then with integrity, you do then invite other agents to look at it. So that's, for me, important. Okay, so let's look at, what we're going to watch now is Brent Gove's video. So let's watch that together. And before I do that, I better tell you who Brent Gove is, because he's worth listening to. Brent Gove is one of my partners in this eXp business. So he is working together with us in South Africa, my team, and we're building a very strong eXp team in South Africa. Would love you to join us. And Brent is a great guy to have helping us. Why? Because he's not going to tell you this, but I know him personally, so I can tell you this. He was the top selling RE/MAX agent in America on unit count. Now, you don't become the top selling RE/MAX agent in America by being an idiot. This guy is a very successful estate agent in his own right. Now, he has built a huge eXp business and he earns massive revenue shares off of this business, but he still actually to this day runs a $100 million real estate business with listing specialists and buyer specialists and all of the stuff that he works with in his team. So as an agent, he's incredibly successful. He was with RE/MAX for 12 years, was one of their golden boys. And then in 2008, when the market crashed in America, that global economic crisis, he took the opportunity to move across to this fledgling company called Keller Williams at the time. And he wanted to know, is Keller Williams all it's cracked up to be? And he said he loved his time. He was with Keller Williams for 8 years. He said he would never leave. And was one of their top-selling agents again, built a great team. And one day he got a phone call by an amazing lady named Sheila Fejerin, also one of our partners. And if you join my team at some point, you will meet Sheila. Her and I have become good friends. These are all US-based agents. So Sheila lives in Texas and half the time in Puerto Rico. Why Puerto Rico? Well, Sheila and Brent make a lot of money. And a whole bunch of the eXp leaders have moved to Puerto Rico. Brent has just moved to Puerto Rico as well, because they go from paying in Texas like 52% tax to, wait for it, Puerto Rico, 4%. They pay 4% tax in Puerto Rico. That's why a whole bunch of them have moved there. And in fact, if you see Puerto Rico on the list of countries, which you will do when I show you the map later, you'll ask yourself, man, why have eXp opened in Puerto Rico? I mean, I can get Brazil, Mexico, France, Italy, UK, Canada, Australia. I can get those. But why Puerto Rico? This is why, because all of the eXp leaders have moved to Puerto Rico. Anyway, that's an aside. So Brent then got a phone call from Sheila. He said, okay, Sheila, I'll look at it. And he said within 20 minutes of seeing what you're going to see today, he knew he had to move. And he did, and he has built an absolutely enormous, I think he's got 18,000 agents in his personal eXp network, which when you see the model today, you'll realize why he is so profitable. Okay, so I'm going to now hand over to Brent. He's going to explain eXp to us, the 4 pillars of benefit and how the model works, and then I will jump up afterwards and wrap it up. So enjoy the model explained by Brent Gove.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brent Gove, and of course, I'm here to talk to you about eXp South Africa. Everyone's so excited, and we are thrilled to have you with us today. Now, before I get going on the model on eXp and what's happening with the fastest growing real estate model the world has ever seen, I want to talk to you a little bit about my background. I promise to be super fast. I've been in real estate for 24 years. My first 12 years were at RE/MAX. Then I spent 8 years at Keller Williams. And honestly, I loved both companies, had a very positive experience. And then 4 years ago, got a friend of mine who asked me to take a look at this new model for real estate, eXp Realty. Back then, it was a small company with 1,200 agents. Today, we're a $4 billion company, shattering all the records of our predecessors, RE/MAX and Keller Williams, cutting their growth rates in half. So what is it everyone's so excited about? Well, let's get started. Welcome to eXp South Africa. Now, eXp was founded by a Canadian, Glenn Sanford. Everyone loves Canadians, and Glenn is one of those special people. He created a company that nobody else created. He was like an Elon Musk, a Richard Branson, a Steve Jobs. Every once in a while, that kind of a special human being comes along and could just not only conceptualize an idea, but execute on that idea. And of course, Glenn did, and enter eXp. Now, what he did is he came up with a cloud-based brokerage, and we're launching it here in South Africa after great success in many other markets worldwide. Today, of course, we're a $4 billion company. So what is eXp all about? Well, of course, we're about selling real estate. And we have our main broker for the country of South Africa, Mr. Andrew Thompson. Amazing. Our regional finance manager, Mark Luker, he's an amazing guy as well, and a bunch of wonderful support folks helping you launch here in South Africa. Now, I won't kid you, we're pioneering at this time. You're part of the beginning, but there are great rewards for people who are first to market. In fact, let's talk about that. Netflix was first to market, and they dislodged a $5 billion, 800-pound gorilla called Blockbuster. We all went to Blockbuster. I'm sure you did too. And now we just point and click, get what we want through Netflix. Look at Amazon. There was a period of it's like, oh, they'll never make it. They're not sustainable. Now they're the largest employer in the world, the most successful company the world has ever seen. Even Tony, and this is what eXp is in this cloud-based space. And then we got eXp going up against traditional brokerages. But even Tony Robbins noticed, and there's Tony right there, that the Hilton Corporation, having been around for over 100 years and creating an $18 billion valuation, here comes Airbnb. In fact, I love the name Airbnb. It's been around for only 10 years, valued at $31 billion. And they don't even own a building. It's incredible. And so what is eXp? What is this cloud campus environment? It's like any university. It's like any college campus. It's a place that houses hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of eXp staff, technology departments, accounting, brokerage operations, marketing, everything you need for a real estate company, but it's in the cloud. And the agents don't have to pay desk fees. You can work from anywhere. And we choose to work with Regus. The whole office hub, open space, being collaborative is the rage worldwide. Now, next, what eXp is doing is we're a tech company. We're bringing tech tools that are amazing, cutting edge. One of our tech tools, a CRM, a cutting edge contact relationship manager, a retention tool to help you keep track of your clients, to do prospecting and lead tracking and template brochures and emails and calendars and tasks, and it's state of the art. You're going to love it. Can't wait to show that more to you. It's one of the things we bring. Now, the other thing eXp is huge on is learning. We are a learning-based company. We believe in being a student of life. You want to make it big in real estate? One of the reasons I became very successful, one of the top agents at Remax and Keller Williams, because I'm learning-based. I'm a student. I'm always asking questions. And we believe so strongly that we created eXp University. And in the university, we have cloud classes. We have anywhere from at least 20 live hours a week, sometimes 30, 40 live hours a week of content. You literally can raise your hand, interrupt the instructor and say, hey, I have a question. Now he or she may say, hey, we're going to hold all questions to the end of class today, but it is truly a university with over 20 live, not recorded, live hours. You can stick around after class, ask the questions to the instructor about how do I get more listings? How do I get more buyers? How do I get more buyers into contract? How do I do social media marketing? How do I do contracts? I have questions about disclosure. Whatever it is, we have it all there in the cloud. It's in the cloud and it's live in person. Here's an example of one we recently did. We had about 500 people in the room. This particular event, it was all about lead generation and using technology to capture buyer and seller leads. Here's another one we did. If you look to the left, there's a panel up there of top superstars from Remax and Keller Williams and Coldwell Banker and Independence. All those people sell hundreds of homes a year each. They all just joined eXp Realty. So we put them up on a panel and said, why? And what do you see the value is in this company? Now, a little bit about eXp World Holdings. Essentially, our eXp World Holdings owns mortgage companies, title companies, real estate companies, home warranty companies, on all the ancillary services. So that they give out what we call equity opportunities. In other words, you get to own a piece of the company you work at. You got to understand that's a big deal. I worked at Remax for 12 years and had nothing to show for it. Most of the agents walk out there with no equity. It's like a buyer. We say, please buy a home. Get some equity for yourself, some self-respect. And then the people who rent a home for 20 years were like, shake our heads. Yet I did that. I spent 20 years, 12 years at Remax, 8 years at Keller Williams, and I had no equity. So at eXp, we're going to give you what we call equity awards. When you close your first home and it records, you're going to get an equity award, stock award. When you cap at eXp, and we'll go over the cap in a little bit, you're going to get more stock in our company. When you refer an agent to eXp, you enroll an agent, you tell them how much you like it, and they join, you get more stock. In fact, the more people you tell about eXp, the more stock and equity you get. I spent 20 years at Remax and Keller Williams, referred hundreds of people to both companies, and didn't have a whole lot to show for it. So eXp, they monetize that. They think that's valuable. Finally, you have an agent equity program where you could take 5% of your commission. Now, this is optional. You don't have to do it. But 5% of your commission, and you could purchase our stock at a 10% discount. Now, I started doing this 4 years ago, and the stock was $2.90 a share. Today, it was trading at $58 a share. Back then, the company wasn't even worth $100 million. Today, it's worth over $4 billion market cap. They called me crazy. Now, they call me for advice. And so I tell you what, it's scary when you do something new and this and that, but let me tell you what, eXp makes sense by the numbers. So let's get into some more numbers. We have what we call an Icon Award, and this is where our cap at eXp is 150,000 Rand. And so once you pay in 150,000 Rand to eXp, you go to 100% split. The split is 75-25, just like everybody else. But once you pay in 150,000 Rand, we move you to 100% split. Pretty cool. And check this out. When you cap and you earn 5 million Rand, which in a lot of areas means you're selling approximately 33 homes a year if you do the math. Now, if you're in an outlying area where home prices are low, you'll have to sell more. If you're in a very high-end area, it may be less. But if you have an annual gross commission income of 5 million Rand and you cap it, of course you're going to cap, you're going to actually earn your cap back in the form of stock. We give you 150,000 Rand worth of stock. Pretty cool. So what did it really cost you to be at eXp? Not much. It's pretty cool. Now, the next thing is we do revenue sharing. And this is what sets our company apart. Now, for years, I had friends working at Century 21, other friends working at Better Homes, Sotheby's, Christie's, Coldwell Banker, Remax, and people would refer people and they wouldn't earn anything, and all the revenue would go to those international multi-billion-dollar real estate corporations, and they would keep all the money. Well, at eXp South Africa, if you look at the scale here, tier 1 at the top, if you refer one person, the dollar amounts in the middle there, that middle dollar amounts, if you add up those amounts, they add up to 150,000 Rand. So what our founder did, Glenn Sanford, is he broke them up into bite-sized rewards. You refer one person, you get 26,250 Rand. It's pretty cool. And someone asked me, or am I limited to that? I go, no, you can refer 10. And if that person was a capping agent and they paid in 150,000 Rand to the company, that's why it says up to, then you will receive 26,250. What happens if they only do half a cap, like 75,000 Rand? Then you get half of 26,250. What if they do a quarter cap, like a quarter of 150,000 Rand? Then you get a quarter of the reward, 26,250. The way it works is every month there's a closing. On the following month, the 22nd, eXp pays out what we call revenue share. eXp South Africa. It's very exciting. So now everyone they tell, that's what's called tier 2. And anyone they tell, you get 30,000 Rand. Now, the way you qualify is in the right-hand column. You must refer 5 agents who sell at least 1 home every 6 months in South Africa, 5 agents who sell 2 homes a year, 1 home every 6 months. kind of a low standard, but it's a standard. So if you prefer 5 agents who sell at least 1 home every 6 months, then it'll unlock tier 2. If you refer 10 people to eXp South Africa, it'll unlock tier 3. 15, 20, 25. It grows in increments of 5 until you get to tier 6. That unlocks tier after tier after tier. Then there's a jump of 15 to 40 to unlock tier 7. But tier 7 pays 37,500 Rand per agent on that tier, unlimited, as it is on every tier. Pretty awesome. So let me kind of show you how this works. Here we go. Let me give you a 5-year example or a 5-year possibility. By the way, I did what you're going to see in 6 months. Doesn't have to take 5 years, but I'm going to be conservative. It says it takes you 5 years. So if you look at the example here, let's say that you tell 10 agents this year. And remember, you're getting 26,200. Look at the top of the scale there. Tier 1 at the top, 26,250 Rand. So if you tell 10 people, and you multiply that times 26,250 Rand, you get 262,500 in Rand every year. And if those 10 people stay with eXp South Africa next year, you get it again. And if they stay a third and a fourth and a fifth year, you get it a third and a fourth and a fifth year. This is like you selling homes 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and you're still getting paid today. Now, we all know that's not going to work. You're paid to produce escrows. You put buyers in escrow. You put sellers in escrow. You get paid. It's over. You have to continue to rinse, wash, and repeat. You have to continue the process. Not here, because you now own a company with eXp South Africa. So if you tell 10, you're getting 26,250 Rand per person a year if they're a capping agent. So make sure that they're an agent who sells real estate. Obviously, if you started a company and you tell 10 people who don't sell it all, you would get nothing, and you'll also get nothing in eXp. You need agents who sell real estate. Again, capping agents are ideal, but it can be less. Now, let's say you help those 10 agents tell 10, and in the next 5 years. So you tell 10 this year, then they each tell 2 people a year for 5 years. 2 times 5 is 10. So if they all did that, you'd have 10 agents who told 10. That would be 100 agents on tier 2. Now, again, I told 10 in the first 2 weeks, and they all told 10 within 6 months. So I did this 5-year example in 6 months. It does not have to take 5 years. But what's wrong if it took 5 years? Because look at this. If you have 100 people on tier 2 who are cappers, how much do you get per person? 30,000 Rand a year per person. So when you multiply that times 100, that's 3 million Rand a year, plus your 262,500 Rand for the people you personally told. That's a total of 3,262,500 a year, and you get it each year as long as those people stay with the company. Well, guess what? The next year, mine quadrupled, almost grew 5 times. So that number grew accordingly. Now, this is just with you telling 10 agents. What if you told 20? What if you told 30? What if you told 40? What if you told 80? If you and I were to start a real estate company together, the first thing we would do is recruit agents. And if we had 4 or 5 agents, we'd be a little boutique company. And then 2 years later, we have 40 or 50 agents, we're a bigger boutique company. Maybe 2, 3, 4 years after that, we have 3, 4, 500 agents. We're no longer a boutique company. We're a company to be dealt with in, say, Johannesburg. You got 500 agents, you've kind of arrived. This is all that is. We're attracting agents to our company that are learning-based, want to give back, and I'll talk about that, want to have a seat at the table of ownership. This is an agent-owned a company, so to speak, through the stock. The more you sell, the more agents you refer, the more sales metrics you hit, the more stock you are constantly awarded to our company. If that sort of thing appeals to you, owning a piece of the company you work at, then welcome to eXp. Now, what I want to show you is our expansion. We're already in the United States, we're in Canada, we're in Australia and the UK. This year, like today as I'm making this, we are opening South Africa, like today, pretty exciting. And then we're also opening France and India, and we're opening Mexico and Portugal. Pretty exciting stuff. And you're just right there wherever you are in South Africa. But as you tell people in other parts of South Africa, they'll have friends in Canada. They'll have friends possibly in Portugal or France or India. Australia, the UK, and your business will grow out of South Africa, and you will be paid revenue share on home sales throughout the UK. I am throughout Australia. I am throughout South Africa. I am, you can, you get the idea. Now, we run the whole world. It's a cloud campus through Virbela. Virbela is one of the most successful companies online. Look them up. They're a Cinderella success company. When COVID-19 hit, eXp didn't blink. Like I said, they call you crazy, and then they call you for advice. Well, we have a world that housed hundreds and hundreds of employees, and we didn't pay any commercial leases. We didn't have to heat and cool it. We didn't have to insure it. No one's going to trip. There's no trip hazard in a virtual world. We didn't have to add coffee, janitorial. We didn't have to do TIs, tenant improvements. We didn't have to buy furniture. We didn't have to sign copier leases or computer leases or phone system leases. Need I go on? Staff it with employees. This is a beautiful world, and the overhead is very low. That's why we could share revenues. Is it working? We went from zero to a $4 billion market cap in 10 years. It's working, and you get to be a part of it. Super excited. We also have Facebook groups that called Workplace in Facebook, and you could post new listings. Buyers need a property here, there. Super collaborative. You will absolutely love it. This is proved to be a great success. And everyone's like, well, what kind of marketing does eXp have? The same kind of marketing your current company has. Beautiful brochures for your listings, wonderful business cards and digital flyers, as you could see. Just great stuff. You're going to love it. Bottom line, join the company everyone's talking about, the Amazon of real estate. We have arrived. That's what we're being called, you know? So what kind of growth? Well, it was 1,300 agents or 1,288 agents about 4 years ago. Today, it is over 36,000 agents. It is exciting what's happening. Now, we got to 36,000 agents without missing a beat, and we've hit $4 billion, and we're highly profit, what's called net profitability. Wall Street, you know, the different stock markets worldwide love us. Wait till we hit 100,000 in the next year and a half, 2-3 years. When we have 100,000 agents, economy scales kick it even more. Profitability goes through the roof. And then the stock, well, it'll do what you might expect it to do. I'm not going to say what it's going to do, but I've just watched it grow from $2.90 a share to $8 a share. People are like, do you think it'll ever reach 20? Today we're trading at $58 a share. And you go, do you think it'll ever reach? I think it's going to be pretty awesome, and I'm so excited to be a part of this company. Almost every other day I get a text from somebody saying, I just became a millionaire through the EXPI stock. Not unusual at all, but the company's been around for 10 years, not 10 weeks or 10 months. Now, it's brand new to South Africa, and again, being first to market is a big deal. Uber was first to market. They were uber successful. Travelocity and the online, your travel agents are gone. They've been replaced by online. You buy your airfare online, your hotels, your rental cars. Being first to market, Facebook, Google, Apple, this is a big deal. And now you get to be a part of this because it's in real estate. Now, here's our eXp South Africa model explained. So the bottom line is it's 800 Rand to join one time. It's a one-time fee, 800 Rand to become a part of our company. Then the monthly fees are 800 Rand every month, okay? It's not free to work here. We have expenses, but it's very reasonable, very affordable. Our split is a 75-25 split, just like every top-notch superstar company throughout South Africa. Again, the cap is 150,000 Rand, and very reasonable cap. And then once you cap, you go to a 100% split. So it's 75-25 to you cap at 150,000 Rand paid in, and then you go to 100%. So if you do that in 6 months, you're at 100% split for the last 6 months of the year, and it resets every year. We did it, James, we did it our first month, 6 weeks, and they were at 100% for the rest of the year. Some of you do it very quick. Some of you, it may take you 9 months to cap, but you'll enjoy 3 months at 100%. Everything you close, you keep it all. That's a pretty good deal. We do have a 4% international fee that applies. We take 0.5% of that and we give back to our community here in South Africa for development, for schools, technology for children, sports, and getting involved in the community. We call that our social responsibility, to not just enrich ourselves and do well and prosper and do well in business, but to care about the community we live in. And so that's a really cool thing that eXp does with that 4% international fee. Finally, we have partners, we have third-party participation. Just to name a few, how about ENS Africa? How about PKF Octagon? How about Deloitte, Aon, Standard Bank? I won't read the whole list, but we have all the right partners, and we are super excited about the promise of what the future holds. Really cool. By the way, here's our founder, Glenn Sanford. He's on the stock exchange the day eXp joined the NASDAQ with Cisco, Apple, Intel, PepsiCo, joined the big boards. This was the day. There's our board of directors. And here he is hitting the closing button, shutting down the world financial markets worldwide. It's an honor they give to companies that join the NASDAQ. We're one of the hottest stocks on the NASDAQ today. Very exciting. So as I wrap up today, it's our final slide. I just want to tell you this. eXp South Africa is making history. I mean, you get to be a part of this. It's a big deal. I am so glad that 4 years ago, I had the courage to go, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I left Keller Williams, a well-known factor, and joined eXp because I wanted to own a piece of the company I worked at. Today, I've seen it change hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives of my friends and colleagues in a positive way I can't even tell you. It's just been so powerful. So really encourage you to join, to be a part, to join this movement, to be a part of a company that is agent-owned, agent-centric. Everyone says they're agent-centric, but how many of them do the agents actually own a piece of the company they work through the stock? So what I want you to do is to go to expsouthafrica.co.za/join, and I want you to apply. You're just applying. It will not move you to eXp, but they'll give you an independent contractors agreement, and it starts the process. But apply and get approved to join, and then when you're ready to join, you could join. But get this part out of the way. It's a part of your due diligence. Also, I want you to do a beta test. I want you to take what you just saw. I want you to share it with your best friend in real estate, 1 or 2 or 3 of them. As a Keller Williams agent, I did 8 of them. I called it the Save Me beta test. I had 8 people watch what you just saw, a version very close to that. And guess what? All of them sold franchises, quit full-time jobs as regional managers for Remax, general managers for Berkshire Hathaway, sold multiple franchises, big star agents. Every single one of them, 8 for 8, joined me at eXp because I asked them to look at the model, what you just saw, and say, what am I missing? Because who wouldn't want to own your own company? Who wouldn't want stock awards? Who wouldn't want a competitive cap and 100% split? Who wouldn't want all the wonderful benefits that eXp offers? The revenue sharing is crazy today. So take the time, share this with a few people, do what's called a beta test. Go, I want to know what you think. Would you look at the model? It's a new model for real estate. What do you think? And see what they say. I'm so glad I did it, and I would encourage you to do the same. Have a great day, everyone. I look forward to meeting you in one of our next South African meetings for eXp. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Okay, super, Brent. Thank you. Thank you for putting that together for us. So, guys, what I want to do now is just wrap up a little bit on those 4 pillars that Brent went through. Make sure you understand them, and I need to correct a couple of numbers, and then I'll give you what we suggest your next steps are from here. Okay, so eXp South Africa, there are these 4 pillars of benefit. And I'll talk about the company briefly now in a second, but those 4 pillars are a phenomenal technology platform upon which to build your business. So when you join eXp, you sign an independent contractor agreement. You own your own business within eXp using their technology as your platform. But that technology comes along with so many benefits, and I will go over those, how that works in a second. The second one is world-class training which no company in the world can compete with. The third pillar is the equity awards. Okay, so you actually have the opportunity to build up a shareholding in the company, and you get given shares for doing what you're already doing. so that when you decide to retire or you want to go and do something else in 5 years' time, you don't leave with nothing, which is what is the case wherever you are right now. Unless you own your own small business. But then again, what is that building up to you? You can't go and sell that in 5 years' time. There's no long-term equity in those kinds of small businesses. And then if those three are compelling to you, then the fourth one is the revenue share model, and that can be incredibly profitable if you are someone who is willing and excited by the thought of phoning a few other agents and saying, hey, come and have a look at this thing with me. And that becomes really exciting. Okay, so let's look at those in a little bit more detail. First of all, the platform. So who is the leader of eXp South Africa? It's a man named Andrew Thompson. He is our principal of the company. And that actually reminds me, if you do own your own small business, or you know people who do, or it could be a big business, we have certain models that help principals bring in big teams with them. That helps them adjust to the loss of income that they would incur by losing the commission splits they are currently getting from their agents. I can talk to you about that separately if that's a conversation you want to have. But when you join eXp, you don't have to, if you've got a local brand, you don't have to rebrand your business. You can keep your logo, you can keep your colors, you can keep your website, your email address, all of that can stay the same. So as far as the public are concerned, there's been no change, except you're just going to add powered by eXp to your branding. So you get to benefit from the growing brand of eXp in South Africa and certainly globally. You will, however, be able to close down the actual legal entity of your company. You no longer have to be an NQF level 5. You no longer have to have a PDY limited with a trust account and the audits and all of this stuff. You don't have to be VAT registered. You don't need any of that anymore because eXp are the company. Now, the only exception to that is if you run a rental management book. If you do rental management, you can't do rental management through eXp. You would then have your separate entity where you do rental management, and that then would need a trust account and all of the other things. Okay, so that's kind of how the structure works. You join as an independent contractor, and then there's a local team. There's transactional specialists that you will work with on all of your transactions. And I think the eXp agents in the room will be able to attest to this. The service is unbelievable. Even where there have been some teething problems with the systems, and there's always going to be that if you get in on the ground floor of an opportunity, okay? That's just comes with the territory. But where there have been teething problems, this team of there's 7 of them are employed by eXp South Africa are unbelievable, so responsive. Even though everything's in the cloud, you actually have more constant, more immediate feedback and access to the various specialists that you need, whether it's a transactional specialist for a deal you're working on, or you need Andrew to respond to something as a principal. You got a problem with this, you need support. It's incredible, the support that we're getting from this team. Immediately accessible, all of them. And they are building a great business here in South Africa. Right, so the 4 pillars being the technology platform, it's 800 Rand to join. Then you pay 800 Rand per month as your fee. There are no hidden fees. There's no additional fee on top of that. There's no like per transaction fee you've got to pay on top of. So we have a slightly different model that they work with in America. There's no university fee. There's none of these other fees. That's $800 a month. In that 800 Rand a month, you get, okay, actually, I've got another slide I'm going to go through on that. Your initial split on your commission is going to be 71.29. Now, why 71.29 instead of 75 there? Well, because at the bottom of that slide, you're going to see a 4% international fee. That always applies even once you've capped. I'll explain capping in a second now if you don't understand how that works. But in the beginning of every year, every 12-month period, which starts on your anniversary date, the date you join eXp, when you do deals, you start paying in 25% to eXp South Africa and a further 4% to international. That's called an international fee or transaction fee, they call it. That 25% that you pay into eXp South Africa starts adding up through the 12 months. As soon as you've paid in 150,000 Rand, which would have been 600,000 Rand gross commission, because then 25% of that has been paid in, 150, you have then capped. You now no longer pay in anything to eXp South Africa. You keep it all after that, except for the 4% that does keep getting paid. So then once you've capped, you go up to a 96% split. So how long will it take you to cap each year? I don't know. How long will it take you to do 600,000 Rand gross commission income? Once you've done that, you've capped, you keep the rest. And then on your anniversary date again the next year, it goes back to zero. And then you start paying in your 25 again until you've capped. So that's how it works each year. Okay, for your 800 Rand a month, what do you get? Well, obviously access to eXp World and all of the support. I'm going to show you a little video later of the support that we get in eXp World so that you can actually see what this little avatar world looks like. You get your eXp email address, obviously, and then that email address gives you access to all of the tools. It gives you access to the avatar world, the support. It gives you access to the training. It gives you access to the CRM system, the listing management system, and all of that, which is part of what you get as part of your 800 Rand a month. You get this listing management system. You load your listings on the system, and they syndicate automatically from there to, at the moment, Private Property and Property 24. And we are working on a deal with, I think it's 37 other global websites that we're going to be syndicated to. At the moment, you also get onto the eXp South Africa website, which will get more and more traffic as we get better known, and eXp International. You get all your listings go onto the international website as well. Okay, you get this listing platform, a CRM system. You get syndication to Private Property and Property 24. We often get asked, are you serious? I get that for 800 Rand a month. I own my own small business. I'm busy paying 5,000 Rand a month, 8,000 Rand a month for my P24 and Private Property syndication with Lightstone, because you also get Lightstone in your 800 Rand a month. Yes, you get it all for 800 bucks a month. Do I pay for my clicks? No, you get it all. There's unlimited clicks. You get it for 800 bucks a month. This is what the power of a global company like this gorilla of a company comes into a country, and it has economies of scale to be able to negotiate unbelievable rates with all of these service providers. So 800 bucks a month includes all of those things. You also get a one-page website, which you can then market on your social media that collates your listings. You get access to the university with all the training and the workplace profiles. Okay, so this is the CRM system that we get and the listing management system. In fact, we just had the first of 4 training sessions with someone from America for the South African group yesterday. So her name was Olivia, and Olivia was training us on how to use the listing management system. And many of our agents are already listing. They've listed 10, 20, 30 properties, and they're using it, and the syndications are working, and it's a fantastic system. The CRM system, I'll get into that at another time. Okay, so I'm going to play you a little video now of when I joined eXp a few months ago. I couldn't get my email address working on my Mac. So I took myself into eXp World in my little avatar, and I went into the tech department. And I took a ticket, and within 2 minutes, I was ushered into the table with this guy, Landon Cox. And I want to play you the little video of just 1 minute of that interaction so you can see what I'm talking about, because it's difficult to envision if you have not seen this. Okay, here we go. Okay, that dude there, Landon Cox, he's the guy that's busy helping me. He didn't have the answer for my question, so he's gone to speak to his tech support manager there, Melissa. And he is going to walk back over here to our table at some point and hopefully answer my question. Oh, here he comes.
Okay, did a bit of digging around.
All right.
And it looks like the instructions we have that are for UK emails are the same for South African.
Okay, great.
So what I'll do is I'll give you the instructions for the setup in Outlook. And what email app are you using exactly?
Yeah, I'm on a Mac, so I'm using the Mail app on Mac.
Gotcha. So they're not instructions for the Mail app, but
okay, that gives you an idea. And then Landon sent me a document showing me what the settings needed to be, and he walked me through how to put that in. And within a couple of minutes, my emails were working. No problem whatsoever. So it's a phenomenal idea. You know, that I could go into a room and get tech support from someone, and I didn't leave my desk at home. Okay, so this is the tech platform that we work with. This is the deal that you get with eXp. You also get membership of their workplace and work chat profiles. This is a Facebook application for companies. And I think eXp have got one of the largest workplace profiles in the world. And you can directly message any eXp agent in the world. You can join groups. You can form a group. You can market your listings. You can do anything you want in Facebook within this workplace profile. It's an incredible place to get to know other agents, to swap referrals, and to market your listings. Okay, so marketing templates. Brent did show you that. So we work with a company called 360 in Joburg. And you order they've got like a Shopify store where you go on, you choose your golf shirts or your for sale boards or your directional signage or your business cards, your folders or whatever you want, and they deliver to your door. Okay, so that's the first one, the pillar. The first pillar. Second one, training. You are going to get the most unbelievable training at eXp. When I was doing my homework for the Going Virtual program, I had been given a guest pass last year to get into eXp World, and I attended a whole lot of training sessions, some in the American world, some in the UK world. Those were the two major ones at the time when I was going into training. How to use video, how to use social media. And so much of the stuff that I'm now doing with my clients, I learned by going into these training courses. Now, why is the training so good? Well, first of all, because it is an avatar-based world, and they've got training facilities all over this campus, it's actually 80 hours or more of training every single week. And you can go to training in any campus, anywhere in the world. And they publish a schedule of events a few weeks in advance. You can just go through that schedule of events. Okay, that looks good. There's something on negotiation skills there. There's something on listing presentations there. And there's something on social media marketing there. Cool. Those are the three that I like for the next few weeks. I'm going to go to those. You just log in. Some of them are at night, so maybe 9 o'clock at night if it's in the US world. But that's okay. And then obviously there's training that we're doing for the South African agents like we did yesterday. Another aspect of the training, why it is so good, they have this thing called the Icon series within their training. And what they are doing is they are incentivizing the top agents in eXp to train the other agents. Now, how does that work? Well, there is this award that you can win at eXp called the Icon Award. And it's a bit like the double, diamond, platinum, super duper, triple, double duper club that every real estate company has got, you know, like you're the top award. And to become an Icon agent at eXp in South Africa, you've got to do gross commission of 5 million Rand in a 12-month period. Okay, so that's a fairly successful agent. And it's the same type of agents around the world in the various countries. Now, in order to get your Icon Award, which is what? They take your 150,000 Rand cap that you would have paid in a long time ago in that 12-month period if you're an Icon agent. They take that 150,000 Rand and they give it back to you in eXp shares. So it actually didn't cost you anything to be at eXp then, other than the 800 Rand a month. So in order to qualify for a percentage of that stock award, that 150,000 Rand, the Icon agents have to do some training in eXp World. So it's a brilliant system. They have got the top agents in the world doing training for the other agents. Great system. So take your little avatar, go into the world, find some training and go and do it. It's incredible. Right, third pillar. Sorry, that's the slide. eXp University, that's what they call the training facilities. And the courses happen in auditoriums like this. So you can see everyone sitting there. There's a speaker up on stage. And you've got access to the speaker. At the end of the training session, you can take your elevator. You can walk up to the front of the screen, to the room, and you can speak to the trainer, wherever they are in the world. And you can ask them questions. And it's just the most phenomenal concept. Right, third pillar, the agent-owned awards, the equity awards. Okay, so this is not all the awards. There's others, but I'm going to just go through the initial ones that will be of most accessibility to you. First one, when you do your first deal every year, so this is an annual award, they just give you 2,000 rands worth of shares every year when you do your first deal. Congratulations, you did a deal this year, boom, there's 2,000 rand. That works on a calendar year. So for those of the agents that join this year, let's say that you join in December this year, you do your first deal, you get 2,000 rand. In January, if you do another deal in January, you'd get given another 2,000 rand, because that would be then for the 2022 year. Okay, so it's an annual award. Secondly, if you enroll capping. When you cap, how do you cap? You pay in 150,000 rand. You do 600,000 gross commission. When you've done that in your 12 months, when you cap, they give you 4,000 rands worth of eXp shares. Congratulations for capping. Here's 4 grand worth of eXp shares. If that had happened to you a year ago, your shares would now be worth, just for capping, let's say, 4,000 rand, and you would have got 2,000 for your first deal. Okay, so let's say you would have been given 6,000 rands worth of eXp shares a year ago. That today would be worth 120,000 rand because of what the share price has done. So, great opportunity. Then, this one's exciting for those of you who see the vision of the revenue sharing when you invite other agents. If you sponsor another agent, so you invite them, they join eXp, they go in your first tier. When they do their first deal with eXp, and this is just a once-off award, eXp gives you, their sponsor, 4,000 rands worth of eXp shares. So let's say over the next 5 years, you tell 25 agents, 5 a year for the next 5 years. That's just going to be a focus of yours. At some stage during the year, you're going to tell 5 other agents who join you at eXp. 25 over 5 years times 4,000 rand each. That's 100,000 rands worth of eXp shares that you will just get given for telling other agents. And what will that 100,000 rand be worth in 10 or 15 years? Who knows what the share price is going to do. eXp's goal is to go from where they are now, 45,000 agents, to go from there to 1 million agents in 100 countries. That's their goal. And if they hit that goal, I tell you what, I'm going to want to own some of the shares. There are other ways to get equity awards, but like that Icon Award, for example, I told you, but we can go into those at another time. Okay. Last pillar is the revenue sharing. I quickly want to recap this with you so that it makes sense, because this really is a massive opportunity. If you do know other agents that you could say, hey, have a look at this thing with me, who would join the group. Okay, when you enroll someone, so you're Agent Orange, let's say the white chap is a guy called Joe. You tell Joe about eXp, and Joe likes it, he joins. You have sponsored Joe. Joe is now on your first tier. Now, on your first tier, you will get paid for each agent up to 21,000 rand of their commissions that they're paying in to eXp, that 25% that they pay in. From that 25%, you get paid up to 21,000 rand for Joe. Why does it stop at 21? Because once Joe has capped, Joe doesn't pay eXp South Africa anymore for that year. So your earning stops there as well, together with eXp South Africa's. What if Joe only half caps? Well, you would get half that. You'd get 10,500 rand for the year. How is that paid? Well, unlike Keller Williams, this is paid on a monthly basis. Whenever Joe does a deal, it registers, the cash gets paid, you get paid on the 22nd of the next month, your percentage of that deal, until you've been paid 21,000 for the year if Joe caps. Okay, and that's for each person. So if you were to have 10 people that you introduce personally over the next 5 years, just tell 10, you'd be making just on your first tier up to 210,000 rand passive income for as long as those people are working as agents. It is wonderful. Right, but it doesn't stop there. Obviously, with the 7-tier model, if Joe introduces Wendy, Wendy is now on your tier 2. You actually make more money on your tier 2 agents than you do on your tier 1, which is wonderful, because it incentivizes us to help the people we are enrolling to enroll others. You get up to 24,000 rand per person on your second tier. And then the way the tiers go down is on your third tier, you earn up to 15,000, fourth, 9,000, fifth, sixth, seventh. Those are the numbers. And you'll see actually your 7th tier is your most profitable tier. For each agent on your 7th tier, you will earn up to 30,000 Rand per year of their transactions. So if you get it in your mind that this is exponential, you introduce 10, if on average they each introduce 10, it wouldn't work like that. Some would introduce more and some less, but let's say 10 introduce 10, and they each introduce, it's going to get exponentially bigger as you go down. So imagine you've got 100 agents on your 7th tier in 5 years' time. That's 3 million Rand a year that you'd be earning on passive income just on your 7th tier. Okay, so what's the catch? The catch is, my friends, that you have to unlock your tiers. And that's what you see on the left-hand side of that slide. In order to unlock the earnings on your 2nd tier, you have to have, look at the left, at least 5 active agents personally enrolled. So that's active agents on your 1st tier, Joe and 4 others. Once you've got 5 people, active agents, personally enrolled, active is they sell 2 homes a year. On your 1st tier, you then unlock the earnings on everyone on your 2nd tier. And so it goes down. You need 10 on your 1st tier to unlock your 3rd, 15 on your 1st tier to unlock the 4th, and so it goes down, 20, 25, and 40. So if you want to earn on your 7th tier, you have to have introduced 40 people personally to eXp. Okay, so that explains the revenue share. On Brent's example, he said he did this in, I think he said he did this in 3 months or something. Well, I can tell you what I've done. But he said 10, each introduced 10. If that happened in South Africa, if that's all you did, no one in the 3rd tiers or below, you would be earning 2.6 million Rand per year passive income just for having told 10, and they tell others. Okay, so what is possible? I began this in November, so about November, December, January, February, about 3 months now I've been going. And within 3 months, I have put, it looks like 25 people on my 1st tier. So I haven't done 10, I've done 25 in the first 3 months. What could you do if you made a few phone calls, if you had a goal? I'm going to phone X number of agents each week and invite them to Stephen's webinar on a Wednesday morning. And this is the beauty of what I'm doing here. I do this webinar every single Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock. The link is always the same link you click today to get in. It's always the same. You can just send that link to others and say, hey, come and look at something. Don't try to explain it to them over the phone. It will sound like a pyramid scheme, which it is not. It's a revenue sharing model, but it's going to sound dodgy and they're going to not be interested. Just say, there's something I want you to look at. I'm excited about it. I need your opinion. Invite them onto next week's webinar. Okay, so internationally, as I'm saying this, I want to just stoke your mind, because you don't just have to show people in this country. You can build a network anywhere in the world. It's sponsoring without borders, and you get revenue share in the local currency of anyone else in the world that joins your network. And then they translate it back into rands on the 22nd of each month, and they pay it into your bank account. So do you know anyone that is either an estate agent or would be interested in becoming an estate agent in the UK, France, Italy, Portugal, Hong Kong, India, Australia, Brazil, Puerto Rico, maybe you know some tax dodger, the United States, Canada, or Mexico? Just let your mind tick a little bit. And you can always invite them onto this webinar with me on a Wednesday morning. And then we can get the local numbers in their currency. We can get that for them, no problem. Okay, what are your next steps? Let's finish this up. Get together with the person who invited you. That is a very, very good idea. You're going to have questions. Please get together with who invited you. And I would recommend you do that in the next couple of days. Right, before you get together, however, go and do your homework. You're going to get that video from me, or you're going to get that email from me, rather, with the Gene Frederick link in it and a few other resources. Go through the email, do some homework, and then make a list of questions. You're going to have questions, of course. It's natural. And then thirdly, invite someone to join you onto the webinar next week. Use the same link and use that that approach that Brent suggests, where he says, it's the save me beta test. You know, I'm excited about something, but hey, save me if I'm wrong. I need your opinion. Try it. Bring them next week. And then you can start the enrollment process. I would recommend you do this as part of your due diligence. Why? You're not joining when you fill in the form on that page, the first form you get, you fill it in. They will then send you an email with a link to the contract in it. Click that link, go and read through the contract. That's part of your due diligence. You want to know what you're signing. Okay, so that's it from me, guys. Thank you. It is 11:15, which is where I want to finish this on Wednesday mornings. I am excited to continue the discussion with those of you who were my personal guests here today. Look forward to chatting to you, answering your questions, helping you make the move if that's something that you think is going to be good for you. And I would so love you to join my team. For those of you who are already on the team, I'll see you guys at 4 o'clock this afternoon for our family time Google call. And there's some good stuff we're going to be discussing there. So God bless you guys. Let's be in touch. Let's continue the discussion and come and join us. It's an amazing journey. Thank you.